Hey, good evening, everyone at home, including USA, International, Canada, Long Island, aka Strong Island, plus the five spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens. This is your man G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, YouTuber, host with the most, misunderstood lonely nomad, the man who holds the doors of the Q5 bus of Jamaica, Queens, and the N24 of Roosevelt Field Terminal, and alongside with Queens, New York native. And you're rocking and hanging out with me on the 291st episode of Off the Meat Rack Chainz New York Avenue podcast. That's right. We are episodes away from episode 300. How about that? And I hope y'all had a nice weekend and hope y'all enjoyed yourselves and the places that I recommended last week. And yeah, we got a jam slamming show for you today, full of wild, crazy topics and everything else in between. Now, if you are new to the channel of the YouTube universe and you missed any previous episodes whatsoever, please go ahead and grab that subscribe button for me on the YouTube channel page of G Money Stacks 555. Leave a like and a comment along with the episodes and topics that's being discussed. And of course, be sure to press alerts so you can know when each episode is going to be going via live stream. And of course, be sure to listen, stream, watch the episodes in case you miss any of them whatsoever. And add the podcast to your to your playlist too, so you can know when each episode is going to be dropping, especially on every streaming platforms, which I will get to in a couple of minutes. Of course, be sure to download the episodes, share the episodes, tell a friend to another friend, and I'll handle the rest at the end of this episode recording. And of course, if you are in the Instagram live feed of Instagram Live, of course, which is where I'm going to be recording, be sure to turn your notifications so you can know when I'm going to be going um, live on the gram, of course, recording episodes whatsoever. And let us know how you feel about the topics and stuff. You know what I mean? And and of course, and of course, we're live and direct from StreamYard and alongside with YouTube. Yes. And first things first, let's get to um our first segment of the night, which is the New York Mass Transit Files. We got some transit stuff to talk about here, man. Let's do this right here, right now. Okay, not sure what happened here, but oh. Unfortunately, we have another person who got pushed to the tracks, and this time it took place in Brooklyn, which I find it very, very, very disgusting. Like, damn, man, like it's a lot of people getting pushed to the tracks. Hold on one second. Okay, this is according to amny.com, the website. Here's what's happening. Brooklyn police are looking for the bully who shoved a teenager toward subway tracks after the youth accidentally bumped into him on board an L train earlier this week. The NYPD released on Thursday night an image of the suspect sought for the incident that occurred at about 9 a.m. on July 24th at the Bedford Avenue station in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. Moments earlier, according to law enforcement sources, the victim, a 14-year-old boy and perpetrator, rode a Manhattan-bound L train when the youth accidentally bumped into the suspect. Police said they both departed the train at Bedford Avenue, and the suspect went on the attack after the train headed out of the station towards Manhattan. This is disgusting, man. Like, why? That's my question. That is my question, man. Like, why?
Why? Oh no!
But wait, there's more. There's more. So, authorities said the perpetrator showed the teen toward the open track, then fled the scene in an unknown direction. The teenager, however, managed to grab hold of the platform edge, avoiding contact with the track bed and third rail. Man, so many subway accidents. Man, this is crazy, man. Look, um, the incident was reported to the 94th Precinct and NYPD District 33. EMS rushed the teen to Woodhall Hospital in stable condition for treatment of minor injuries. Um, Hopefully, it's not that serious. As shown in the image, the NYPD provided the suspect wore a beige cap and shirt. Of course, anyone with information regarding his whereabouts can call Crime Stoppers at 800-577-TIPS. You can also submit tips online at crimestoppers.nypdonline.org or on X, formerly known as Twitter, at NYPD Tips. Of course, all calls and messages are kept confidential. In other MTA news, we got another situation we have to talk about here. Um okay, so the MTA. Okay, so The NTA has chosen a developer to construct the first electric bus charging station in the Bronx on unused land adjacent to the Gun Hill Road bus depot, though it's unclear what else the site will be used for. Okay, so the 1910 Bartow Avenue site sits between East Gun Hill Road and and Edson Avenue, right beside the New England Thoroughway. Thruway, excuse me. The agency put out a request for proposals in 2022 to develop 550,000 square feet of the MTA owned land, and the agency announced Sunday that Madison Capital, a real estate investment and operating company, has been approved by the MTA board to build the core and shell for the bus charging facility. One moment. According to the MTA, Madison Capital will fund the construction of the MTA facility and pay substantial ground rent to the agency, which is when a lease owns the building but not the property. The lease lasts 99 years, according to MTA spokesperson Eugene Resnick. End quote. We are honored to be chosen by the MTA for this transformative project, said Jonathan Nakmani, managing director at Madison Capital. Our team is excited to work alongside the MTA and local stakeholders to make a lasting positive impact, setting a model for future urban renewal initiatives across New York City. According to the MTA, Madison Capital will pay rent with revenue the company generates from the development. When asked where the revenue will come from, MTA spokesperson Megan Keegan said the company will develop the site into an industrial facility with uses with uses complementary to MTA's electric bus charging facility. It's unclear what those uses are exactly, however. When asked for elaboration on how Madison will use the site, Resnick similarly said the facility will be focused on sustainable urban development with uses that will complement MTA's electric vehicle charging facility. Though the spokespersons did not provide specifics, the agency said that there will be more electric vehicle technology within the larger development and solar panels on the roof. The project will help the agency transition to an electric bus fleet in hopes of creating a zero emissions fleet by 2040, which is a long time. The MCA ran a pilot from 2017 to 2021 by leasing 10 electric buses, and in 2019, the agency purchased 15. This year, the MTA plans to put 60 electric buses into service with supporting infrastructure at 5 depots. From 2025 to 2026, the agency plans to enter another 470 electric buses into service with infrastructure at 11 depots. The MTA also plans to expand a depot based workforce training program for zero emissions. Um, the site is part of Community District 12, but George Torres, the district manager for the local Community Board 12, but George Torres, the district manager for the local Community Board 12, told the Bronx Times that the board was not approached by the MTA about the plan. It is disappointing, he said. I do not know if the community board would have been supportive of an electric bus depot, but it would have been nice if we were brought into the discussion. He pointed to a mixed use project that had been proposed for the site that never came to fruition. The project, a proposed open air plaza called Baychester Square, would have brought shopping, dining, recreation, and 180 units of senior affordable housing to the property. CB12 supported the proposal, as did former borough president Ruben Diaz Jr., as long as it would not be developed as an outlet mall. But the plan was quashed by former Mayor Bill de Blasio in the summer of 2017 after former council member Andy King, who represented the area at the time, stood adamantly against the proposal. King argued that the district did not need more low paying jobs and instead should build a school or corporate office with higher paying positions. Prestige Properties, the management company for the nearby Bay Plaza Mall, saw the proposed development as a threat to its business and jobs. The existing bus depot on the site was built smaller than initially planned after the MTA acquired the condemned property in the 1980s due to budget constraints. The rest of the site was leased as a golf driving range and to Astor Little League, a nonprofit that manages, operates, and maintains Little League baseball fields. Astor Little League remains on the site, which the new development will not interfere with, per the MTA. In 2012, the New York City Economic Development Corporation put out a RFP for the site, at which point after the driving range closed. But a contract to sell the property to Grid Properties and Gotham Organization, winners of the RFP for the proposed Baychester Square, expired in 2019 after the plan fell through. As for the future of the unused space remain uncertain. The MTA developed a plan to convert its bus fleet. In quote, developing a new electric bus charging facility at Gun Hill Road Depot is another major step in the MTA's ambitious effort to transition to a zero emissions bus fleet by 2040, with benefits not only for the Bronx but extending to the entire metropolitan area, said MTA Chair and CEO General Lieber. Mass transit is the antidote to climate change, and we're making this site one of North America's greenest industrial facilities. Council member Kevin Riley, a Baychester Democrat, did not respond to a request for comment. Well, hold on. An MTA contractor based in Queens has reached a settlement with the city over thousands of dollars in wage theft during construction work on two subway stations. Bottom line construction and development based in Laurelton, Queens, which is where I'm from, um, agreed last week to pay a 14,215 thousand and 64 fine to the city comptroller's office for failing to pay prevailing wages to employees during demolition and masonry work at the 86th Street R train stop in Brooklyn and the Broad Channel train station in Queens in 2019. Ooh. Hmm. Um. Okay. So the company, which was working on a subcontract by construction firm Masterpiece US Incorporated, admitted to underpaying six employees by more than $8,000. The complaint was brought forth by two of the employees, but an investigation uncovered that the firm had underpaid at least four other workers as well. Hmm. Okay, that kind of really sucks. Yeah. Um. All six were entitled to the prevailing wage, the required pay rate set for work on public projects for masonry, carpentry, and construction work. One employee was stiff of nearly 3,500 in wages between August and December 2019, which rises to just over 4,900 when including accrued interest at a rate of 16%. Hmm. End quote. Every construction worker deserves full pay for their work on public projects, yet companies like Bottom Line skim rightfully earned wages from its workers. City Comptroller Brad Lander said in a statement, end quote, this settlement serves as a reminder that contractors doing business with the city must adhere to prevailing wage laws, and companies that neglect to pay their workers will be held accountable. The fine against the company includes interest and penalties along with back wages. The comptroller's office conceded that bottom line's actions had not constituted a willful violation. An MT spokesperson said the Harlem based company has served as a contractor on three agency projects, but never as a primary firm, and that the company does not currently hold any contracts for MTA work. While we will not comment on this specific case and have no role in determining third party personnel policies, and the MTA is committed to fairly compensating those who work hard getting New Yorkers where they need to go, said the spokesperson Michael Cortez. The firm does, however, hold $396,000 in city contracts with the School Construction Authority, the agency charged with designing, building, and maintaining public schools run by the Department of Education. The two contracts were both awarded this year, according to online contract database Checkbook NYC. Okay. Hmm. Yeah. Let's see what else we got on the agenda. Let's see. Okay. Okay. I said I was gonna talk about one of the topics that's barely been discussed in regards to gentrification, which I will talk about in the segment, the segment of here we go, chatting all the jazz. Here we go. Um, Give me 1 second. Okay. Now I picked gentrification as a topic because it has to do with Queens residents who signing off on the housing crisis. Now, first, let's talk about the pros and cons to gentrification, shall we? And and I bring gentrification because previous episodes ago I actually talked about how um the Jamaica bus terminal was already closing down because somebody already bought the shit already. And and that's an example of gentrification. Like I spoken to someone who had a clothing line store by Merrick Boulevard, ended up had ended up having to move from Merritt Boulevard to 164th Street, which the fish market, the the Crown Fried Chicken place, the the bodega, the fish market, they all closed, all because one idiot decides to buy the damn bus terminal in Jamaica, Queens, which is kind of foul though, you know what I'm saying? And knowing that the MTA and Nice Bus and MTA Bus, um, you know, they're still turning left on Merritt Boulevard. So I mean, if that's the case, man, they might as if that's the case, you might as well actually have them allow them to actually drop people off by the library because nobody wants to get off the bus by by a cops precinct. I personally don't, which is crazy. And as the guy said from Passengers United, shouts to him, by the way, who actually pointed out that the streets are so fucking narrow. And I've seen narrow streets before, especially and especially in Jamaica, Queens. Not just not just 165th Street, but 169th Street is a lot worse, which is where the Q30 and the Q31 run. I think the NTA is going to make shit worse. They're gonna make shit worse. And let me break down the pros and cons of gentrification, which I've been hearing about a lot. So let's get a look at this though. And this is from mayayan.com. And this is basically talking about the pros and cons of gentrification. So, gentrification means renovating or improving a neighborhood, house, or district to meet a particular socioeconomic standard. Yeah, right. Yeah, fucking right. Often communities try to gentrify areas with lower income levels to increase equity, stimulate business growth, and attract people with higher net worth. Okay, this is the thing that bothers everybody. Like seriously, like you're really trying to have people you're trying to really have people in poverty if you're doing all this shit. Like, yo, that's crazy to me. It's really, really, really crazy to me, and it's really disgusting. And I'm really disappointed in this shit too, man. Believe me, believe me, man. It's disgusting, man. Yeah, I'll be pissed too. Oh Yes. All right. So it is a part of urban development that rapidly transforms a neighborhood or city segment, usually due to urban renewal initiatives. This process tends to involve increased home prices and the displacement of residents from the area. Gentrifying areas with lower incomes can bring a positive change, but there are potential drawbacks. Understanding the pros and cons of gentrification is the right way to get familiar with the process better. Understanding the process of gentrification. Let's take a look at this. Gentrification takes place when a community with low income residents starts attracting the middle class people as a desirable place to live. Um Gentrifying often leads to the displacement of longtime residents and disrupts within the current community. Gentrification has been a continuing process in the United States, but it has recently accelerated due to various factors such as millennials. Um, of course, individuals born between 1980 and 2000, preferring city life over suburban areas following job opportunities. Additionally, economic factors play a significant role as many young educated people look for affordable rent and convenient public transportation options to avoid car ownership. Yeah, there was a streamer that I was watching yesterday who is also a New York native who recently moved to Connecticut. Now I've been to Connecticut before, but there's barely anything fun to do over there other than Metro North, man. You know, which is kind of crazy to me, man. Um, it's crazy though, man. Oh man. Oh man. Let's see. Let's see. Let me see. Let me see. Um damn man. Yeah, additionally, economic factors play a significant role as many yeah, I already read that part already. Although the influx of younger, educated, and aware people makes our city trendier, and more attractive. It also results in the less affordable rents of the lower class communities. Let's get a better look at the pros and cons of gentrification along with its effects. What are the pros of gentrification from a viewpoint of improving economy, infrastructure, and individual income? There are many pros of gentrification, including number one, increased property value, which everybody disagrees. Gentrification can cause an increase in property value as new businesses attract wealthier customers, leading to higher demand for housing and commercial spaces. This increased demand typically leads to higher prices for for the properties themselves. More people moving into a neighborhood means an increase in overall spending power in the area, encouraging developers to invest in the community. This often results in improved infrastructure and better amenities that ultimately boost property values. It also encourages people to maintain their properties, which helps keep real estate values up. Number two, economic development. Gentrification can lead to the influx of businesses and people that can bring new money into a neighborhood. These new patrons often prefer to shop at local establishments, which helps stimulate the economy. More people moving into an area generates work and employment opportunities, hence reducing unemployment rates. As property values rise due to increased demand, taxes also tend to increase, bringing more revenue for public works and schools. Safer environment, number three. Um, when gentrification occurs, crime rates typically go down due to an increased presence of law enforcement and surveillance cameras installed in the area. Businesses that come into gentrified neighborhoods are often more responsible about their security measures than those previously there. The influx of new residents also provides a stronger sense of community, with more people actively watching things that further deters criminal activity. One moment. Number four, improve quality of life. Yeah, right. Yeah, fucking right. The influx of new businesses, people, and infrastructure can also mean improved quality of life for gentrified areas with improved infrastructure and better access to amenities. People often report an improved sense of well-being. New businesses can create jobs, which help to foster an environment of economic development and opportunity. A more diverse population in different cultures, creating a unique and vibrant atmosphere that can thrive for years to come. Shit. Number five, better safety for the public. Investors in a new community prioritize safety on their streets. This benefits everyone by increasing the enforcement of local laws, mandates, and regulations. Crime is unwanted by all, regardless of their neighborhood's wealth level. Gentrification brings in more resources to pay for additional police, neighborhood watch programs, and advanced security systems that effectively protect all residents. And we go to the cons. What are the cons of gentrification? Apart from the cited benefit, there are certain disadvantages of gentrification, which a society is always surrounded by. These include number one, displacement. One of the biggest downsides to gentrification is displacement as property values rise. It forces out current residents who are unable or unwilling to pay more for rent or mortgages. This can lead to many people being forced from their homes as landlords may take advantage of increasing prices and push out existing tenants in favor of those that can afford higher prices. Damn, son. Damn. That really sucks, man. This has got to really fucking suck for people. That sucks, man. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? That sucks, man. That really sucks, man. Well, I bet you the whole gentrification shit is gonna fall apart. Watch. And this was never a good thing, man. This is an epic fail, folks. Yeah. Um, yeah, this is an epic fail, man. I don't know why you would actually think that this was a good idea to push people out of the neighborhoods that they've lived in for years. Yeah. And speaking of years, number two, loss of culture. With the influx of new people and businesses, it's not uncommon for a neighborhood to lose its unique culture. This often involves the loss of local shops, restaurants, or other community centers, integral to preserving a neighborhood's heritage and atmosphere. Increased cost of living. Number three, another downside to gentrification is that increased property values can lead to higher rents and living expenses for current residents. This can be difficult for people on fixed incomes or unable to afford higher rent or prices. I would do a separate topic in regards to what fixed incomes is about. I'm not going to be able to do it here, so let's not I'm not going to do it here. So I'm not going to assume. So anyway, number four, increased disparity. Gentrification often amplifies existing disparities between income levels in an area. It's not uncommon for wealthier individuals and businesses to take over neighborhoods while pushing out less affluent residents, leading to further inequality in the area. Um, Number five, conflict in communities. The arrival of new residents, known as transplants in gentrifying neighborhoods can increase community conflict and marginalization for both groups. This is because any kind of change in a community can cause some level of resentment. However, it is important to acknowledge and address these issues to minimize their impact. Gentrification can lead to class or racial tensions that can escalate to violence and provide a justification to remove low income residents from the community. That's really fucking rough, man. That's really fucking rough, man. You know what I'm saying? It is clear that gentrification carries both pros and cons, yet it can be tricky to navigate if you are unfamiliar with the concept. From its effects on the local economy to a change in the neighborhood aesthetic, it is important to understand all sides of the issues before making judgments about it. Ultimately, gentrification allows community. Hold on. Yeah, sorry about that. Loud car. Yes, ultimately, gentrification allows communities to come together and invest in their unique culture while welcoming progress and development that benefits all citizens. Understanding how gentrification works from its definition to the implications can help the society move forward toward a bright future. Shit. Doing our research and talking with locals about their perspectives is one small step towards understanding this process better, but it's important. Okay. Now, I don't know, man. Let's see. So there are some frequent asked questions. So what are the positive side? What are the positive side of gentrification? One benefit of gentrification is that it can bring commercial development and economic opportunities, leading to lower crime rates and increased property values, ultimately benefiting existing homeowners. What are some negatives of gentrification? Vulnerable populations are more likely to experience negative effects from gentrification. Studies have shown that these groups generally have shorter lifespans, higher rates of cancer and um, congenital disabilities, greater infant mortality, and are more likely to develop asthma, diabetes, and cardiovascular disease. Um, who benefits the most from gentrification? The arrival of wealthy individuals in a neighborhood known as gentrification. You mean rich motherfuckers often results in their children attending well funded public schools. At the same time, low income families and students may remain concentrated in their own under resourced schools. And of course, why is gentrification unsustainable? Gentrification often leads to the displacement of current residents who can no longer afford the increasing rent, resulting in new residents taking their place. This is the most commonly discussed negative effect of gentrification. And damn. So yeah, and this is where I bring in the Queen's residents, which is very, very important actually. Hey, let us know in the comments, how do you feel about gentrification that's going on in the United States? Not just in New York, it, not just in New York, but in other states. Um, drop your thoughts in the comments in the Instagram live feed and of course YouTube as well. I am gonna make this a question. I am gonna make this a question actually. I'm gonna post a question on Threads and possibly make a question for Instagram as well as the last episode. I actually did a two part question actually in regards to um in regards to what is it, the nominations of the BET Hip Hop Awards, and the other one has to do, if I'm not mistaken, um, the other one has to do with. Hold on, let me check. Let me check something real quick. Let me check something because, um, if I'm not mistaken, because I actually um, one moment. Yeah, so I previously left a two-part question in regards to the last episode that I did, in regards to how did you celebrate International Podcast Day for you podcasters that are hosts of your own shows, um, and and of course the nominations of the BET Hip Hop Awards, which is included. Yes, so I am going to be posting questions on Threads and of course Instagram as well, and of course including the gentrification topic of this episode right here. And all right, so let's continue. So, and this is from QNS.com. All right, so the city's rent guidelines board got an earful from Queens residents during a June 12th public hearing at the Jamaica Performing Arts Center. Excuse me. Landlords, and property owners were advised to steer clear of the hearing by the Rent Stabilization Association of New York, which has a membership of more than 25,000, warning of recent tenant activist aggression and violence since the RGB proposed increases on rent stabilized apartments across the five boroughs of up to 5% for 1 year leases and 7% for 2 year leases. Jeez Louise, man. Jeez Louise, man. This is crazy, man. But you know something. High rent increases is not just happening in New York, but it's happening in other states as well. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people can relate to um high increases and being gentrified and stuff being pushed out and displaced. So I kind of feel bad for the people that's been pushed out and stuff. So this is just crazy, man. Unfucking believable, man. You know what I mean? It's very unbelievable. All right. All right. Let's continue. Okay, so okay, what the hell's going on here? But anyway, all right. So, end quote. Asking people to choose between rent and food and medicine is beyond unfair. It's obscene and immoral and a driving force in the housing crisis today. And I and if I get squeezed anymore, I'll be living out of a cardboard box on the street. Flushing retiree Douglas um Ausling said without a hint of malice. I urge this board to put a moratorium on rent increases or a bare at excuse me or at a bare minimum return them to pre-COVID levels in the range of 1 to 2%. Anything more will only reward scrupulous landlords and poorly run properties and revert and convert them to verit- veritable slot machines, best regulated not by you, but by the state gaming commission, like all the casinos. Queensboro President Donovan Richards evoked the legendary housing activist Jimmy McMullen, who came up short in mayoral and gubernatorial campaigns before retiring to the state's veterans nursing home in St. Albans. That's in Queens, folks. I'm here to say the rent is too damn high, Richard said. Queens, Queens, and all of New York City are in the the, the throes of a housing crisis, unlike any we've experienced before. We've experienced before. The number of families that are in homeless shelters and the overall cost of living, from food prices to utility bills and transportation costs, continue to rise rapidly. We must move with the urgency of now to keep families in their homes, keep the cost of living in check, and ensure our communities remain healthy, affordable places to live. Richards added that the proposed rent hikes before the board couldn't be more misguided and dangerous. Councilwoman Julie Wan attended the hearing with Woodside on the move and a busload of her constituents from across Western Queens. End quote. It would be unconscionable for the mayor's appointed rent guidelines board to vote to increase rents when nearly half of all New Yorkers can't make ends meet. 45% of renters in Western Queens are paying more than a third of their excuse me, of their income in rent, and 20% of renters are paying half of their income. One said these rent increases would mean more evictions and homelessness for our neighbors. The RGB must freeze rents now to make sure that New Yorkers can stay in their homes, not raise them to maintain landlords' profits. Meanwhile, on June 11th, more than 1,200 Queens residents rallied outside the old Creedmoor Psychiatric Center in Queens Village to renew their call for Governor Kathy Hochul to transform the state owned property into 1,000 affordable rental units and 300 affordable houses. Our young and talented, hardworking sons and daughters are being displaced. This forced displacement, this reverse migration is unacceptable and unconscionable. Bishop H. Curtis Douglas, senior pastor of the Bethlehem Cathedral in Queens Village, roared. This crisis is creating refugees out of our own people. There are New York refugees in North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Florida, and Georgia. They've been forced to leave their homes and the city that they love because they can't afford to live here anymore. That is a shame. It's a sin and a shame. It's a sin and a shame, and it must be stopped. The rally was organized by Queen's Power, which is co-chaired by Ben Thomases, the executive director of Queens Community House. We need 100% real affordability because this is a housing emergency, and in an emergency, we need the state to use every tool at its disposal to respond, Thomases said. We were over 1,200 people strong on Sunday at the Queen's Power rally, and we will continue to organize and push for 100% affordability at the Creedmoor campus. Um, Empire State Development rolled out a master plan for the redevelopment of portions of the Creedmoor campus in the coming years. While the need for affordable housing services in the borough is more immediate, according to Churches United for Fair Housing, who joined the congregation at St. Plus 5 Roman Catholic Church in Jamaica for an affordable housing workshop on June 11th. CUFFH serves thousands of at risk families each year at offices across the city, operating in neighborhoods that are most at risk from displacement and gentrification. CUFFH announced 1.2 billion, excuse me, $1.2 million in federal funding allocated by Senators Chuck Schumer and Kristen Gillibrand. Hmm. Well, not sure if it'll help, but it's a start. Okay. This support from Senators Schumer and Gillibrand will provide critical support to Churches United for Fair Housing's citywide expansion of affordable housing services to help families find and maintain affordable housing, combat landlord harassment, displacement, and access resources that help prevent and fight back against other threats to housing. CUFFH Services Director Jacque Rodriguez said. CUFFH is incredibly grateful to the senators for this powerful commitment towards housing justice for our communities. Schumer said he was proud to support the organization. CUFFH provides housing assistance and tenant protection to the city's most vulnerable residents, in addition to supporting communities through job training, health services, and other programs, he said. CUFFH has a profound impact on our city, serving thousands of at risk families every year, and I'll continue fighting to deliver the resources they need. Gillibrand echoed his statement. Churches United for Fair Housing has been a leading advocate dedicated to empowering and assisting New Yorkers in acquiring safe, affordable, and dependable housing, Gillibrand said. I am proud to have helped secure $1.2 million in federal funding that will go toward expanding CUFFH's affordable housing services, and I will continue to fight for resources to make housing more accessible to all. All right, let's make some noise for Chuck Schumer and Gillibrand, man, for their contribution to helping the displacement of people who are being pushed out by lousy fucking landlords. Believe me, a lot of people are upset. And it's crazy how people are being forced to move to a different state. And I don't even think it's fair because how's that even fair? You feel what I'm saying? This whole gentrification shit, it's gonna fall apart. Watch. It's gonna fall apart. Watch. With all the angry protesters and stuff, man. Watch. Let me make some noise, man. Let's make some noise for Schumer and Gillibrand, man, for the contributions and everything to communities who are facing difficult times. All right, so let's make some noise right here. Okay, all right, let's go to Okay, let's go to okay. Another topic that kind of got me was the whole thing with the plastic utensils being banned. Like, what the hell? As soon as I saw this, I have to talk about this man. I have to talk about this shit though. This is crazy. This is crazy. You feel me? This is crazy. Hold on a minute here. Um. All right. So when I heard this, I had to really talk about this though, man, on this podcast platform right here. So this is from boingboing.net. I can't believe that's a fucking website name. Anyway, um, so New York's skip the stuff law comes into effect today. You'll have to buy your own knives and forks now, or just sit there shoveling it into your mouth with your fingers as God intended. Okay, that's disgusting, man. Come on now. According to the release from the sanitation department, the bill aims to reduce single-use plastics that often end up in landfills. Fines will not begin being issued Monday, according to the Department of Sanitation. This took place over the summer, so I'm just doing a little recap. Any violations before June 30th of next year will receive a warning instead of monetary penalty. After that date, any businesses that violate the rules are subject to civil penalties from $50 for a first offense to $250 for a third offense within a 12-month period. Jeez. This is insane. This is insane, folks. This is insane. I'm sorry. I'm very, very, very sorry, but this is insane. This is insane as hell. Yeah, sorry about that. Oh no! This is insane, man. Like, why? I don't get it. I really don't fucking get this. This is insane. Very insane. I don't like this at all. Why don't you look me up? Oh Lord. I don't really get it. I don't get it. I don't get it, man. This is terrible. This is terrible right here. Um Very, very, very terrible. Anyway, so let's continue. Ah, man. The US is making progress in general on limiting single-use plastic. Oh boy. Currently, the U.S. has not placed a single use plastic ban on a federal level, but this responsibility has been taken up by states and cities, which includes Connecticut, California, Delaware, Hawaii, Maine, New York, Oregon, and Vermont have all placed bans on plastic bags, which is terrible, by the way. And these stupid ass brown paper bags are too damn cheap. They're not like back in the day, and I don't think it's worth, and I don't even think it's worth fucking using it. So that's just my point right here, man. Anyway, so San Francisco was the first city to completely ban plastic bags in 2007. The rest of California implemented their plastic bag ban in 2014. And since then, there has been a 70% reduction in plastic bag usage within the state. However, you can still find plastic bags in grocery stores as rules have not been properly enforced over the past few years. New York faces a similar situation as plastic bags were banned in the state in 2020, but some businesses still continue to distribute them. Again, mostly due to lax hold on a second. Due to lax enforcement of pollution rules. Come on, man. Some of this can be attributed to COVID-19, which complicated efforts towards reducing plastic usage. The surge in gloves, masks, and other um, double double PE have been detrimental to the health of our oceans. Really though? So you rather have people use their fucking hands to eat their food, knowing that they're spreading germs and stuff. You're not making it better. You're not making the shit better. I'm sorry, but you're not making it any better at all. Never in the history of me living in New York that I ever heard of anybody banning plastic utensils to a so-called caring about the damn environment. If you truly cared about the damn environment, you wouldn't be banning plastic utensils. What the hell is wrong with you people? I'm not saying everybody's in it, but some of you people out there, so-called environmentalists, man, y'all really need to chill out on this shit. Really. Seriously. Anyway, that's just how I feel about this though, man. Anyway, let's see. Let's see where I left off here. All right, so um okay, so the rest of California implemented their plastic bag ban in 2014, and since then there has been a 70% increase in plastic bag usage within the state. However, you can still find plastic bags in grocery stores um as as rules have not been properly enforced over the past few years. Of course, New York faces a similar faces a similar situation as plastic bags were banned in the state in 2020, but some businesses still continue to distribute them. Again, mostly due to lax enforcement of pollution rules. Shit. Some of this can be attributed to COVID-19, which complicated efforts towards reducing plastic usage. The surge in gloves, masks, and other double PE have been detrimental to the health of our concerns. Since the beginning of the slamdemic, oceans have seen more than 57 million pounds of COVID-related waste. On a brighter note, as the world is starting to recover from the efforts of the slamdemic, attention is returning to the efforts of plastic on the environment with stricter enforcement. The slamdemic has brought to attention once again how serious the plastic pollution problem is, and the many pollution reduction policies that have been suspended or postponed are being put into effect again. This is ridiculous. I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure this is just all good and all, but it doesn't sound like all good and all to be having people use their hands to eat their foods like your ch- your rice, um, and your and other restaurant related foods that they sell in restaurants. And to be honest, folks, I would never really imagine anybody eating lasagna, macaroni and cheese, or any other type of shit whatsoever to use their hands. That's terrible and that's disgusting. Especially if you putting out germs out there. Like, come on, man. Like, this is ridiculous, man. I'm sorry, but I, I'm sorry, but this is just so fucking crazy and annoying. These people remind me of Peter, who ain't got nothing else to do but to find something to complain. Like, come on, man, get out of here. I had to do it, folks. I had to do it. This is I had to do it though, man. This was something I had to get it off of my chest and stuff. So, um, yes. And speaking of less, speaking of anything gross, Teamsters. Let's go to Teamsters, man, because um this one is pretty important, actually, if you know what I mean. So Teamsters, actually. So this is from AJC. Um so the UPS Teamsters contract, which some 340,000 workers are voting on this month, which already took place during the summer, of course, is the beachhead for what labor groups see is a bigger war, organizing Amazon and growing union ranks after years of decline. Um, mm, so years of decline. This is crazy. This is crazy, man. Like, why is it not like? I'm sorry. Hang on a second. Let me find some more information on this. Hang on a second, folks. Um, some more information about this stuff. Um, okay, so, oh, come on, man. Anyway, let me see. Hang on a second. Okay, teams on the massive. Yes, so this is pertaining to unionized Amazon. Not sure how that's gonna work, but anyway, this is from perfectunion.us. Amazon Teamsters picket line is spreading nationwide. Workers across the country are standing up to Amazon after the company fired 84 drivers for unionizing with the Teamsters. Amazon, the nation's largest single employer, represents the Mount Everest for the modern labor union movement. Smaller unions have worked to organize the mega monolith, but Amazon's sheer size has a bigger force eyeing it as well. And to the International Brotherhood of Teamsters. Ugh. The Teamsters made their first successful foray into unionizing Amazon, winning a union contract for 84 workers in Southern California in May 2023. Amazon fired all 84 workers shortly after. Oh, wow. 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 Ain't that something? Ain't that a bitch? All right. Okay. Yeah. So the workers were subcontracted through an Amazon delivery partner, DSP, called Battle Tested Strategies. The Teamsters picket began in California and continues to grow every week. Workers are fighting back, setting up a clash between one of America's biggest unions and largest employers. Hmm. Yeah, I say good luck with that too, man. I say good luck with that. This is kind of very, 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 very interesting. That's crazy, man. It's crazy how Amazon is doing the work is wrong, which is crazy though. Yeah. And anyway, let's continue to the next one. The next one is pertaining to 10 major chains. 10 major chains that's actually going to be vanishing. Let's take a look here. 10 major chains as far as headquarters and stuff, man. Um actually, yeah, actually hold on a second. Before I do that one, let me do migrants. Let me do migrants and then I'll do the other one next. Okay, so this is from time.com, of course. Okay, so Ali Saeed, a father of six, tries to quickly change direction when his children hear the sound of an ice cream truck coming down a New York City street. He can't afford it. In Afghanistan, life was good and they were eating everything, says Sayed, who asked that his name be changed so he does not lose his family's placement at the Roosevelt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan. Hmm, interesting. Okay, very interesting. Okay, so Sayed was a civil engineer in Afghanistan in 2021, but after the Taliban's takeover, he fled first to Brazil and then across the southern border into the US. He is among more than 100,000 migrants that have arrived in New York City over the last year. Um, over the last year. Um, Yeah, let's see. Over the last year, many are desperate but unable to work legally and trapped in the city's overcrowded temporary housing. In the meantime, nearly 60,000 remain in the city's care, according to the mayor's office. Um, Since the spring of 2022, our city has borne the brunt of a national crisis, providing shelter and care for a population greater than the entire city of Albany. New York City Mayor Eric Adams said in August 24th statement. New York City has a right to shelter law, which means officials cannot legally turn away anyone seeking shelter. The city and state have been fighting in court over the best way to house the influx of migrants. The city of New York sued 30 New York counties for issuing emergency executive orders meant to ban the city for arranging asylum seekers to stay in private hotels like the Roosevelt, which remains a designated arrival center in addition to functioning as a shelter. Last month, dozens of asylum seekers slept outside the Roosevelt Hotel, hoping to secure a room like Saeed and his family. Um, and in response to traditional shelters reaching near capacity in early June, the city created 206 emergency shelters, including not desperate, excuse me, but including respite centers and school gymnasiums and parking lots. These facilities were originally intended to house migrants only for a few days so they don't face the same kind of regulation that shelters do. Many are bare bones spaces providing little more than a cot to sleep and a few meals. Let me say something about this though. Um, Let me say something about this. And along with certain people, including my mother, who think that they get everything for free, it's not about getting things for free, folks. It's not about that. It's about them trying to get a better life. This all started with Greg Abbott, the no good piece of shit who had them on buses over thousands of people arriving in New York and knowing that there is a major crisis with the migrants and stuff. And I feel bad for them because number one, they they barely have any places to stay. And and the same goes with and the same goes with the people and the same goes with the people in same goes with the people in other areas, including Staten Island, which actually had a pushback on that. The thing is I get the people's concern in Staten Island and all that other stuff whatsoever, but these asylum seekers, they're human beings too, just like you. You know what I'm saying? They're human beings too. That's basically struggling right now. They're trying to not only get work permits, but they also need a place to stay. They also need food. They also need clothes, and and of course being able to provide for their families and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they need supplies, of course, and all that other stuff. So that's just my take on it. And by the way, a little side note about Mayor Eric Adams. He apparently went to apparently he went to I believe he went to Ecuador, he went to Colombia, and I think he went to Mexico and whatnot to actually and I guess the reason why he went there was to actually, talk about what was going on in those areas because from what I saw as I'm watching TV, it had to do with the violence that's going on that's like, basically gang related and all the other stuff. And and yeah, I do feel bad for these people, man, that they're going through this. I mean, this is a nightmare. This is a nightmare. You know what I'm saying? This is a nightmare. And I I I wish they get the best care that they deserve as far as work permits, places to stay, food, water, and other supplies, jobs, anything that they need. Because because these people do not deserve to be displaced. They are human beings just like us. You know what I'm saying? Pushing them away because you have a bunch of pushbacks and all that other crazy stuff and other crazy ridiculous politics or whatever. Like, damn that shit. Put that shit to the side, man. Like on some real shit. Like really, really. How about think about them besides yourselves? And I'm gonna put a pin on that right there, man. I'm gonna put a pin on that right there. Cause this is this selfishness of pushing people away as far as asylum seekers and all that other stuff, that's not gonna solve the damn problem. It's not gonna solve the problem, and you know it. All right, before I go on to the next topic, let me see who came in. Shout out to Sneaker Lover Easy. I see you. Appreciate you for watching this. So let me get to the other topic that I was going to do, which is yes, the 10 major chains that's closing down, which is companies. Yes, so this is very crazy right here. Actually, it's more. Oh boy. Yes, hold on. There's more migrant stuff actually. So let me just get into it right here. Actually, there's more. And this is from Vox.com. I'm sorry. I had this at the last moment. So actually, no, not the last moment, but I actually saved this actually. So New York City Mayor Eric Adams recently warned that the city could be destroyed if it doesn't get more help to support an influx of migrants and is now starting to turn some asylum seekers out of shelter. Never in my life have I had a problem that I did not see an ending to. I don't see an ending to this, the mayor said at a town hall earlier this month. Since April 2022, more than 116,000 migrants have arrived in New York City. Most came from the US Mexico border, fleeing hardship in their home countries and seeking asylum, a form of protection that would allow them to remain in the United States and not be deported. Many are not yet eligible to work in the United States due to asylum rules, which require migrants to wait about 6 months for a work permit. Um, more than 60,000, more than 60,000 of them remain in the city shelter system, according to a statement from the mayor's office. If migration continues at its current pace, the city is on track to spend $12 billion over the next 3 fiscal years to shelter and support immigrants. Um, The crisis has deep roots. The United States immigration system has long been broken, amplifying an international humanitarian crisis, and the movement of migrants from the southern border into cities has highlighted and tested the system's many fault lines. A report from the Adams administration blames a litany of factors, including the lack of comprehensive federal immigration reform, Trump administration policies, climate change, overwhelmed immigration courts, and the narrow paths immigrants face to becoming permanent residents. Okay, so this is quite interesting here. Um, oh my god. Okay, so let's close this. Adams says New York City has stretched itself to the limit and is demanding greater help from New York Governor Kathy Hochul and the Biden administration. The humanitarian crisis has also become a political flashpoint for New York. Protesters have criticized the city for housing migrants in schools and various residential neighborhoods, and heckled lawmakers who speak on the subject to close the border as the crisis puts a strain on the city's budget. Adams, a mayor who campaigned on the idea that New York City is a sanctuary city, has changed his tone. Republicans looking for a new boogeyman for the 2024 election cycle are watching. Advocates warn that Democratic leaders, including Adams, are falling into dangerously xenophobic rhetoric and fear that the plight of thousands of migrants will be used as a political pawn as the country heads towards the 2024 general election. Um, New York's migrant crisis is actually several crises in one, a humanitarian crisis as people from around the world flee instability and poverty and make their way to New York, a housing crisis as a city that is required to find shelter for migrants struggles to do so, and a political crisis for the mayor, whose handling of the situation has come under increasing scrutiny from fellow Democrats and from conservatives alike. What the mayor said is conceptually ridiculous and unfair. Migrants' decision to come to America was fueled by a level of bravery that we in the U.S. cannot even understand, said Christine Quinn, president and CEO of WIN, a provider of shelter for homeless families in New York City that has housed hundreds of migrant families. The mayor isn't wrong to say the feds and state should do more, but the best way to get help from the state and federal government is to exhaust your own ability, and there's no way Adams is at the point yet, despite what he has said. Why are immigrants traveling to New York City? Um, of course, part of the influx of migrants is by design. Since last year, Republican governors in Florida and Texas have sent new arrivals northward by bus or plane, including to New York City, as part of an effort to provoke a reaction out of the federal government and Democratic-led cities. The greatest number has come from Texas, where Governor Greg Abbott, lousy piece of shit, has sent more than 13,300 migrants to New York City since the spring of 2022, but many more migrants have arrived on their own. Some experts believe migrants are choosing New York City after learning about the city's right to shelter mandate. New York City has a unique legal obligation to find placement um, for asylum seekers under a consent decree, which took effect in the 1980s after a court ordered the city to provide temporary housing to any man who asked for it. In the early stages, we should probably not have actively encouraged shelters. News of the welcome mat certainly spread among immigrant circles through social media very quickly. Muzaffar um, um, Shisti, a senior fellow at the Migration Policy Institute, a nonpartisan think tank, told the New Yorker. The idea was if you get to the border, tell people you want to take a bus to New York City. We should have just kept the old practice that people will just find their own way when they come to the city. When Abbott sent migrants to the city by bus, Adams greeted them at the Port Authority bus terminal in an effort to appear welcoming in contrast to Abbott's cruelty. Um, yeah, that's why people think of him as a piece of shit. But in the past few months, his administration has distributed flyers at the border to direct migrants away from traveling to NYC. New York City has international draw. Migrants have likely seen it in movies and TV shows. They view it as a city of opportunity where a lot of immigrants have gone. Julia Jalot, associate director of the U.S. Immigration Policy Program at the Migration Policy Institute, told Vox. Many of the migrants traveling to New York City enter the United States through points of entry at the southern border to escape economic and political hardships in their country. For more than 7 million people who have left Venezuela, for example, economic collapse and a repressive government have made life in the country untenable. Venezuelan um, immigration to the U.S. has increased dramatically in recent years. Uh, as of September 2023, the U.S. has taken in about 545,000 Venezuelans, while Latin American and Caribbean countries have taken in more than 6 million. Migrants are also coming to the United States from other Latin American and Caribbean countries, such as Cuba, Haiti, Guatemala, and Nicaragua, and African countries such as Senegal and Guinea. Haiti is extremely unstable right now, and that is rooted in many human rights violations and foreign policies that continue to play a part in the destabilization of the country. Haitians want to thrive in their country, but they've been forced to flee, said um, Jarlene Joseph, the co-founder and executive director of the Haitian Bridge Alliance, a grassroots community organization that advocates for fair and humane immigration policies and provides aid to Black migrants. New York City has absorbed waves of migration for decades. What's slightly different now is that far more of the migrants who have arrived in the past 2 years are fleeing economic hardships. As a result, they are more likely to be indigent and more likely to lack friends or family members who are already established in the US. Additionally, um, many previous waves of migration are single adults now. Families are traveling together. Um, families are traveling together. Families have more needs and higher standards of what they expect for their living conditions, July said. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me get a little sip of something. Okay. Um. All right. So refugees from Europe, such as those fleeing in the war in Ukraine, have also made their way through the United States, mostly to New York, through the Department of Homeland Security sponsored programs such as Uniting for Ukraine. More than 280,000 Ukrainians have arrived in the United States through the program since it launched in April 2022. Immigration advocates have noted that New York City was able to integrate thousands of Ukrainian refugees, but has developed a different tone around migrants coming through the southern border. Our leadership is buying into the narrative that we can't control immigration, that the wealthiest country on earth can't handle immigrants, said Vanessa Cardenias. The executive director of America's Voice, an organization that advocates for undocumented immigrants to be put on a path to full citizenship. Vanessa Card Cardenas. Yes, Cardenas. Okay. They are saying this isn't an impossible task, but New York City processed 100,000 Ukrainians in a matter of weeks. Our government leaned in. The influx of migrants have overwhelmed New York City shelters. Earlier this year, Adams asked the judge to temporarily relieve the city of the legal obligation to shelter migrants since its shelter system is overwhelmed. A request now before a court. In the meantime, the city's shelter system has reached a breaking point. In July, the city began issuing 60-day eviction notice to adult migrants in its shelters, which began to go into effect over the weekend. Though those who failed to secure their own housing have been told to return to Roosevelt Hotel to apply for other housing assistance. About 13,000 notices have been distributed so far, according to the mayor's office. Adams also announced Friday that the maximum stay going forward for adult migrants in city-run shelters will be halved to just 30 days. When migrants arrive in New York City, typically through Midtown's Port Authority bus terminal, local organizations direct them to navigation centers where they can necessary to get necessary services, healthcare, Medicaid enrollment, vaccinations, school enrollment, legal orientation, and more. In July, videos and photos of hundreds of migrants sleeping on cardboard outside the Roosevelt Hotel Navigation Center signaled that the migrant crisis in the city has reached a new extreme. Okay. Um, some migrants slept outside for days waiting to be placed in the city's limited shelter beds. At the time, Adams said, "It's not going to get any better from this moment on. It's a downhill. There's no more room." According to the city, migrants make up more than half of the city's shelter population. Um, and the population of shelters overall has doubled since Adams took office in January 2022. New York City is housing migrants in hotels, once vacant office buildings, school gyms, and emergency shelters on Randall's Island. Adams has also looked into temporary housing migrants in parking lots, in tents in Central Park and Prospect Park, and even on cruise ships. The city announced in August that it had opened up more than 200 new shelters for asylum seekers, but immigration and anti-homelessness um, advocates excuse me, say that housing vouchers are necessary to alleviate the strain on the city's shelters. According to Quinn, the city would save money if it stopped putting migrant families in welfare hotels. By giving migrants housing vouchers to secure their own permanent housing, the city could save $3 billion a year, according to an August 2023 report by the New York Immigration Coalition. Well, $3 billion, huh? Um, Work authorization delays are impacting the city's budget. Most non citizens arriving in the U.S. today cannot legally work. If they are seeking asylum, they need to wait about 6 months, and a backlog in processing asylum applications is making waits even longer. Providing work authorization sooner would allow immigrants to get jobs and provide for themselves and their families, alleviating some of the pressure on local organizations and governments. But Congress hasn't acted, fearful of encouraging more migrants to travel to the U.S. On Wednesday, President Joe Biden announced that he would allow about 472,000 Venezuelans who arrived in the U.S. before July 31st to live and work legally in the country for 18 months under temporary protected status. A designation that means they will be able to live in the U.S. without the threat of the deportation. DHS also promised to accelerate access to work permits for many migrants. The announcements came after Adams, Hochul, and Democratic leaders in Congress pressured the Biden administration to act. But experts tell Vox that the move is not a long-term fix. Plus, migrants won't be able to work immediately since they must first apply for TPS. Some migrants with TPS have had to wait 2.5 years for work authorization, said Carla Astolaza, the managing director of immigration practice at the Bronx Defenders, an organization that provides legal support to migrants. This is a temporary fix because many migrants don't have pathways to permanent citizenship. Advocates who spoke to Vox also said that the city can do a better job of connecting migrants to legal support since many of them aren't aware of whether they even qualify for asylum or other protections. While Biden's TPS announcement may eventually make a difference, the Adams administration says it has already spent more than $1.73 billion through the end of July 2023 and expects to spend more than $4.73 billion during the current fiscal year, which ends June 30th, 2024. Wow. I mean, that's a good start, though. I mean, if you really want to think about it. Um, yeah, it is a good start. Um, okay. Okay, so Adams has said he will have to cut the budgets of various city agencies due to the financial strain of supporting migrants, and that he's already made some cuts. We have a $12 billion deficit that we're going to have to cut, he said in early September. Every service in the city is going to be impacted. According to Adams, the city spends a nightly average of $383 what is it, $1 million per household on food. No, hold on. $383 per household on food, housing, and other services for more than 25,600 families seeking asylum. Um, the city spends about $9.8 million a day with 57,300 migrants in its care on an average night. Adams said that the city will have to add $7 billion to our financial plan on top of what we have already spent on this crisis. Hmm. Oh boy. Um, okay, Adams has asked for more federal funding, and the federal government has already responded in some ways. To date, New York City has received more than $140 million in federal funding for migrants. Through FEMA, it has received $30 million, which is only a fraction of the $350 million in federal aid that it requested. Um, I believe the 383 is $383 million. That's what that is. Okay, so all right, so let me see where I left off here. In the spring, um, hang on. Holco and state legislators also secured $1 billion in the state budget to address the influx of migrants in New York City, which will go toward housing, National Guard support, and legal services. More money will be required from uh, the state of New York, and I knew that. Hochul said last month, according to Politico. And I've been talking about that even prior to the adjustments in the mayor's estimates on the cost. What does this mean for New York State's government and the federal government? Even before any additional money is approved, Adams says the state can do more to support migrants in New York City and is requesting a statewide decompression strategy to make sure all counties are helping with the humanitarian crisis. Adams wants the state to establish more sites in New York City that the state manages, and he has asked Biden to declare a state of emergency to manage the border, which could unlock more funding. Meanwhile, the Biden administration apparently isn't pleased with New York's handling of migrants, according to an NBC report. In August, DHS sent an assessment team to the city to study its migrant operation. The results haven't been released publicly, but one DHS official told NBC that the city's effort is not operationally sound and that it lacks an exit strategy that helps migrants find their way out of the shelter system. Adams' rhetoric has gotten steadily harsher as the crisis has has deepened. While campaigning in 2021, he tweeted, "We should protect our immigrants, period. Yes, New York City will remain a sanctuary city under an Adams administration. We need help. We have not been ashamed to say that," Adams said in late 2022 after Republican governors abused migrants to New York City. "We need people to use their legal minds to see how do we challenge this behavior from these rogue governors. All of us are going to be impacted by this," he said at a town hall earlier this month. "I said it last year when we had 15,000, and I'm telling you now at 110,000, the city we knew we're about to lose." Republicans have seized on the rhetoric, using Adams' words as evidence that Democrats are being hypocrites about immigration. It has gotten so bad, even the leaders of Democratic strongholds like New York City and Massachusetts are throwing in the towel. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy said in a statement, well, former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy said in a statement this month, "They can't handle the strain that the massive influx of people has had on their city and state." Republicans in key House races have already made immigration and migrants seeking asylum a key campaign issue, likely to the detriment of migrants. Um, Adams' words will continue to divide our communities. They will create chaos and hate towards immigrants, not just the ones just arriving, but also toward immigrants in all of New York City. We cannot have our leaders using the lives of vulnerable people as political pawns, Joseph said. um, Cities receiving migrants from places like Texas are falling into the Republican trick. Governor Abbott's cruelty is starting to win in Mayor Adams' circle. Instead of fighting those cruelties, he is falling prey to them. Well, I mean, Mayor Eric Adams is not wrong with what he says. I mean, you know what I mean? He's not wrong about this. So let's hope things get better with the people in the worst difficult situation. Um, Especially finding a place to stay, especially the waiting period of work permits and stuff. So let's hope they find a way to get all the help they need. I'm gonna put a pin on that one right now. All right, so let me see. Um, let's see. Let's go to the next topic. By the way, I wanted to dedicate this episode to um Rocky National Rocky Road Day. I'm gonna fill you in on this. This is pretty interesting right here. Um, Let me see what this is. I'll fill you in on what this is about, though. If you catch my drift. Hold on a minute. Let me see who arrived in here. Okay. Shouts to from the top underscore NYC. I see you. All right. So, what is National Rocky Road Day, you ask? Of course. So, about National Rocky Road Day, um, National Rocky Road Day is all about eating ice cream. Yum. Specifically, Rocky Road ice cream. People love this summer weather. Great tasting ice cream. Rocky Road ice cream is one of America's top 10 ice cream flavors. But on this June 2nd holiday, it is the most popular of all. Want to make your own Rocky Road ice cream? Just add nuts, almonds, and or pecans, mini marshmallows, and chunks of semi-sweet chocolate to your favorite ice cream recipe. Today would be the perfect day to make and certainly eat a batch of Rocky Road ice cream. If you aren't into making ice cream or just don't have the time, you can buy Rocky Road ice cream at any grocery store or visit your favorite ice cream store for a cone large today. Rocky Road history. In 1853, a Rocky Road dessert was created in Australia. It consists of chocolate, imported candies, and nuts. In the early 1900s, Edie, Joseph Eddy began making Rocky Road candy. Then in 1929, William Dreyer, a friend of Joseph Eddy, created Rocky Road ice cream during the Great Depression. It was an immediate hit. Now just about every ice cream manufacturer offers it. How to celebrate and participate in National Rocky Road Day. Of course, um, there are a lot of ways to celebrate National Rocky Road Day. Of course, of course, it includes eat Rocky Road ice cream, have an ice cream party. You know what to put on the menu. Have the original Rocky Road dessert. Take your Jeep or ATV on a rocky trail. Today's chuckle. I saw a study that says speaking in front of a crowd is considered the number one fear of the average person. Number two was death. This means to the average person, if you have to be at a funeral, you would rather be in a casket than doing the eulogy. From Jerry Seinfeld. All right, so history and origin of National Rocky Road Day. Our research did not find the creator or the origin of this day. Our money is on the ice cream makers as originators of this day. We did not find any documentation confirming this to be a national day. We found no congressional records or presidential proclamation. Definition of national days and why is it important to distinguish true national days. Oh man. um I'm not even gonna go into all this. It's crazy. So let me see. um let me see. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, this is okay, so here's more information about this. Let me just National Rocky Road Day is celebrated each year on June 2nd with great joy and fervor. This day commemorates the iconic flavor of the ice cream and the dessert. Funny enough, this flavor is sold not just in the US and in Australia, but also in countries like India, China, Japan, South Africa, and many more. Um, You already talked about the history behind this stuff. Wait, there's more. So the history of National Rocky Road Day. So the Rocky Road dessert was first created in Australia in the year 1853. Many entrepreneurs took these confectionery items, which got spoiled due to the long journey coming from Europe, and mixed them. Hold on. Okay, from Europe and mixed them very cleverly with nuts that were locally available. Also, they added some low quality chocolate and then tried to recover them instead of throwing them out. It was actually ingenious. The name was used as a reference to the rocky road that travelers used in order to access the gold fields. Since the dessert sort of had the look of a rather bumpy road filled with rocks and potholes, the name stuck. Years after that, the dessert was turned into an ice cream, the Rocky Road ice cream. It was invented by William Dreyer in Oakland, California in 1929. He made an ice cream that comprised of the same constituents as the original dessert. It was created in order to lift the spirits of people who were badly affected by the crash of Wall Street and the subsequent Great Depression in the 1930s. The name of the ice cream was given to put a smile on people's faces. The tagline used for this treat at the time was share a scoop, share a smile, which is true. George Farron also claimed that he created the Rocky Road ice cream. It said that he didn't do much and just blended a candy bar and chocolate ice cream together in a mixer, which went on to create the creamy dessert flavor. Okay, so there you have it right there. Yes, so the timeline 1853 dessert beginnings. The Rocky Road dessert is created in Australia. 1929 ice cream beginnings. The Rocky Road, as I said, the Rocky Road ice cream flavor was made by William Dreyer in Oakland, California. Um, Biggest ice cream sundae in the city of Ed- Edmonton of 1988 in the state of Alberta, Canada. The biggest ice cream sundae in recorded history is made. And in 2003, most ice cream per person, Portland, Oregon, buys more ice cream per person than any other U.S. city. Hmm. Okay. How do you celebrate it? You can have a Rocky Road party, popularize it on social media, and of course, make Rocky Road flavors. And yeah, so five amazing facts about ice cream. So for starters, number one, milk for ice cream. Number two, national average. Three, licks for scoops. Four, global leader. And five, first recipe. And why do we enjoy National Rocky Road Day? Enjoyed with friends and relatives, experimentation, and any reason for ice cream. And of course, there you have it right there. And the dates for next year, June 2nd, 2024, Monday, 2025 of June 2nd. And of course, 2026, 2027, and 2028. Of course, This is from nationaltoday.com slash National Rocky Road Days. You could take a look for yourselves and everything else in between. So there you have it right there. Yes, so I sorry for being a little sidetracked with the store closing. Let me take a look here. And let's see. This is from the Business Insider. Okay, so let's see. So at least 20 major retailers have said they will close US stores in 2023, a combined total of 3,193 locations. Of course, Rite Aid is the latest chain planning to shut down stores. WSJ, of course, Wall Street Journal reports, joining a list that includes Amazon and Walmart. Bed Bath and Beyond closed 896 locations amid bankruptcy, the most of any retailer on the list. It's not exactly the retail apocalypse of prior years, but it's a shakeup nonetheless. An insider tally of announcements by 20 major retailers in 2023 finds as many as 3,193 stores set to close across the US. Oh, Lord. Wow. 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 That's crazy, man. That's scary, right? That's very scary, folks. Um, very, very, very scary.
Oh my god! Oh no!
Hmm. Damn. Talk about job crashes. Well, man, that's crazy, man. But all right, so let's see. The rationales are varied. Some companies are navigating bankruptcy proceedings, while others say they are aiming to cut costs. Several are just adjusting store formats to meet changing shopping trends. Rite Aid is the latest to join the list with up to 500 drugstores slated to close as the struggling pharmacy negotiates a bankruptcy deal, per the Wall Street Journal. Topping the list of retailers shedding locations was Bed Bath and Beyond, excuse me, which declared bankruptcy and closed 896 stores across three brands this year, followed by Foot Locker, which I mentioned a while back, which is shuttering 545 stores across two brands by 2026 as part of a shift away from shopping malls. Hmm. Yeah, Bed Bath and Beyond is one of them. I actually mentioned it. Um, Bed Bath and Beyond filed for bankruptcy and closed its stores for good on June 30th. The brand will live on in digital form after Overstock.com purchased Bed Bath and Beyond's intellectual property assets for $21.5 million. The wind down affected the 360 flagship stores and 120 Bye Baby locations. The company previously planned to keep open, plus 416 U.S. Bed Bath and Beyond, Harmon, and Bye Bye Baby stores that were already set to close, bring the total count to 896 locations closing this year. That's a damn shame, man. But I don't know. All right. Foot Locker 545. Oh boy. Foot Locker said in March that it will close as many as 420 stores by 2026 in shopping malls as part of a plan meant to reset the company, as well as 125 Champ Sports locations. It also said it aims to open more than 300 new concept stores in the same period, including locations outside of malls. Oh, damn. Damn. All right, Friday, 500 stores. Yeah. Rite Aid has proposed the closure of 400 to 500 of its 2,100 drugstores as it seeks bankruptcy deal with creators, according to the Wall Street Journal, citing persons familiar with the discussions. Hold on. Yeah, let me just go through the listings. So Tuesday morning, 487 stores. Oh boy. Yeah, the Dallas-based home goods company said on April 29th that it is shutting down all of its stores. The news came after the company said in February that it planned to close more than half of its stores amid bankruptcy proceedings. Damn. CVS, um, 300 stores. Damn. So CVS is in the second year of a 3-year plan to close a total of 900 stores by the end of 2024, as changing populations and buying patterns led the company to reconsider how many stores it needs in certain areas. In a statement in November 2021, the company said the strategy aims to complement an expanding digital presence. Oh boy. Walgreens, 150 stores. In the United Kingdom, okay, Walgreens plans to close 150 stores in the US and 300 in the United Kingdom, the company disclosed in its third quarter earnings call. The chain operates roughly 9,000 US stores and did not specify which locations would close. Oh boy. Christmas tree shops, 82 stores. Damn, son. Oh boy. Bed Hold on, Bath and Body Works, 50 stores. Gap and Banana Republic, 46 stores. Damn. Party City, Party City, 31 stores. Damn, son. Walmart, 23 locations. Um, Best Buy, 20 stores. Oh my gosh. Damn. Target, 13 stores. Oh my lord. This is crazy, man. Damn, this is crazy. All these stores filed for bankruptcy? Damn. Moose Jaw, 11 stores. Oh my gosh. Lidl, 11 stores. I never shopped there before, actually. Amazon, at least 9 stores. Oh boy. Big Lots. Whoa, wait a minute. Well, not the Big Lots that I work at, but it's talking about the discount chain is shutting down 3 stores in California and 4 in Colorado as the retailer moves toward small towns and away from urban areas. No need to be alarmed. It's not the big lots in Long Island and other areas, folks. So don't worry about that. We're good. The real 6 stores. Macy's 4 stores. Sheesh. But they're mostly closing in California, Colorado, and Haiti. No, excuse me. Hawaii, excuse me, and Maryland. 3-year plan. This is basically on some bankruptcy shit. J.C. Penney, 2 stores. Um, they're gonna be closing, including Oswego, New York. I never heard of this place, and Elkhart, Indiana. Sheesh. Damn, man. Wow. Wow. At least it's not where I work though in Long Island. It's not. I don't think it's meant. I don't think it's really mentioned. It ain't mentioned Long Island. Thank goodness. All right. So let's see. What else can we talk? Oh yes, we got to talk about. We got to talk about Pinky Doll, man. Oh my. Okay. So all right. So this is according to TMZ. The famous TikTok lady you see acting like computer game characters on live says she isn't trying to trick anyone into thinking she isn't black, despite claims of critics and some visual evidence. We got internet sensation Pinky Doll at LAX Tuesday, where we asked what she made of people being demonst- demonstrate demonstrably shocked over her recent appearance on stage at the 2023 Streamy Awards, where she did her whole NPC shtick um, while presenting an award. Oh boy. If you are an influencer, it's a big fad on TikTok and other live streaming apps where hosts repeat silly catchphrases and mimic a non-player character from video games, something gamers apparently love watching so much so they send her digital gifts and money. Pinky Doll is easily the most recognizable face in that world lately, but as you can see here on camera, she's a dark skinned African American woman. It looks quite different from how she usually does on her NPC live streams, where her skin's much lighter. Um, Twitter has perplexed to see Pinky Doll is actually darker in the flesh, and some accuse her of trying to purposely bait people into thinking she's some race other than black. She's strongly denying that, though, telling our camera guy she's proud of her melanin, and she offers an explanation for the obvious skin tone difference. Now, whether you buy it, that's up to you. Um, One thing that isn't debatable is Pinky Doll's NPC personality is bleeding over into real life. Watch the videos because it feels like we were talking to a bit of a robot in person. With that said, she makes clear this profession is paying the bills and then some, and she's gonna keep doing her thing, even though a ton of wannabes are hopping on her bandwagon. Oh shit. Oh shit. And ice cream, thanks for the roses. All right, so for more influencer news, tune into the TMZ Verified podcast, dropping every Thursday on all podcast platforms. Yes, so there you go, right there. And let's see, what else can we talk about? Oh, wait. Okay, so most recently, there has been some Lord. Okay, so most recently there was an incident at the at the performance of Cardi B, um, which was crazy though. Um, which is different from the 50 Cent and the 50 Cent incident. So, according to People, Cardi B threw a microphone at a concert goer who hurled a drink at her mid performance over the weekend. During an outdoor set at Dre's Beach Club in Las Vegas on Saturday, the Grammy winner, age 30, became the latest musician to be targeted with items thrown at them while performing. In a non-viral video of the incident, Cardi can be seen wearing an orange dress during the performance and looking surprised when the drink is thrown in her direction while she performed her hit Bodak Yellow. In response, Cardi threw her microphone at the front row attendee whose security seemingly escorted away. After the incident, the rapper retweeted a different video angle of the microphone throw, which shows a clear view of the fan attempting to empty their cup at Cardi, who reportedly continued her performance after the mic toss. Boy, that's crazy, man. Yeah, this is some crazy shit though, man. It really is. It really is some crazy stuff, man. You know what I mean? Um all right. I may not have much to say on this, um but this is gonna have to do. I'll be mad too. Shit.
Oh my god!
Okay, at Dre's Beach Club the night before, Cardi also reportedly threw her microphone towards a DJ who seemingly was cutting off her songs early during another performance per a TikTok. A rep for Cardi did not immediately respond to people's requests for comments. So anyway, all right, so um Cardi's on stage response comes as multiple artists have been pelted with items during concerts this year. Earlier this month, Harry Styles crouched to the ground as he walked off stage after a fan pelted him in the eye with a flying object during his Love on Tour show in Vienna. Styles, age 29, wearing a green sequined outfit, quickly placed his hand over his face, paused as he crouched to the ground, and then continued walking up a flight of steps after being hit. That on stage incident followed those involving stars such as BB Rexa, which I previously talked about, Drake, which I'll discuss next, Kelsey Ballerini, Steve Lacy, not the Fox 5 reporter, Kid Cudi, and Pink, who have all endured concert goers throwing objects toward or at them mid performance. That is so stupid, man. Like, why would you do this shit, man? Like, really? Like, really, though? Speaking of things being thrown, Drake is another person who who had objects thrown at him, but this is broad. This is basically broads, which is crazy though, man. Okay, so this is from the New York Post. A busty beauty who threw her 36G bra at Drake during his New York City concert has been announced as a new Playboy content creator. Oh boy. Veronica Correa, age 21, became an overnight sensation following her show-stopping maneuver at the Hotline Bling rapper's gig last week, prompting Playboy to pay attention. I know I can crush it and make meaningful income, Correa excitedly told the Post on Tuesday. Other bunnies are making millions of dollars a year on Playboy, so I couldn't be more excited to tap into that potential. I will be posting exclusive content from my fans and subscribers that make me feel confident and beautiful. It's possible that Drake himself may be signing up to view Correa's content given his amorous reaction to her black bra. By the way, Drake has a whole closet of bras though, which is kind of crazy though, if you really think about it though. So the singer was seen sniffing the garment after it landed on stage partway through his performance at Brooklyn's Barclays Center before he asked the audience to track down the owner of the item. 36G, Drake was heard saying after looking at the broad's tag, locate this woman immediately. And Correa subsequently took to TikTok to confirm her identity as the broad thrower excitedly declaring, "It's me." Damn. I can't believe this shit though, man. Oh shit. Korea's clip clocked up more than 6.1 million views, with the young mom now amassing more than 51,000 followers on Instagram. On Tuesday, Korea shared a screenshot that social media account which showed Playboy contacting her following her bra throwing escapade. Hi, Veronica, you are gorgeous. A message from Playboy's official Instagram account read, "We recently launched a new invitation only Playboy app that gives creators the opportunity to earn by monetizing exclusive content similar to the ones you are already posting on IG and TikTok. We would love to invite you to apply. Let me know once you've applied and I'll accept you right away." An excited career quickly responded, stating, "Thank you so much. I've applied and cannot wait to hear back." Oh boy. Correa owns a coffee shop in Rhode Island and is the mother of a 2-year-old daughter. Drake has not yet contacted Correa after receiving her bra, and he hasn't publicly responded to news of new Playboy partnership. Oh boy. This is the funniest shit ever, man. Oh shit. This is the funniest shit ever, man. It's 3-9. Okay. Okay. All right. Let me see. Let me see what else. Um. Okay, we got maybe 4 more to talk about here. Um. All right. So. So let's get into the highlights of the MTV Music Award, Video Music Awards. Okay, so according to E Online, actually, um, so this is a recap. Here's a look. Hold on a second. This is a recap, actually, if you will. Um, Here's a look at all the highlights from Tuesday's big award show. The MTV VMAs brought some of the of the biggest names in music to the stage at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey on Tuesday. From exciting performances to powerful speeches. This year's VMAs were a celebration of music video excellence, with Nicki Minaj emceeing the show for a second time and a slew of A-list performers. Excuse me. The night had no shortage of memorable moments. As usual, the slew of musical artists delivering TV debuts of their latest hold on a second, their latest hits provided most of the night's biggest highlights, alongside a few artists making their big returns to the VMA stage for the first time in years. Here's a look at some of the biggest performances and most memorable moments from Sunday's big show. So Olivia Rodrigo brings some chaos. The songstress embraced controlled chaos in her big VMA set, delivering a performance of Vampire that truly left an impression. An apt reference to the music video for her hit single, everything began to crumble in what appeared at first to be some serious technical mishaps. Sparks started flying. Um, Sparks started flying behind her, and set pieces started falling down, leaving the audience stunned. Rodrigo was quickly escorted off the stage as the crowd murmured what happened about what was going on. The answer was soon revealed when dancers wearing pink appeared on stage, and the opening notes to Rodrigo's new song "Get Him Back" started playing. Rodrigo expertly worked the stage as she continued performing the new focus single off of her sophomore album, Guts. NSYNC reunite fan out over Taylor Swift. Oh boy. Yes, so on Tuesday, Justin Timberlake, JC Chasez, Lance Bass, Chris Kirkpatrick, and Joy Fatone reunited to present the Best Pop video, and Swift happened to be the rightful recipient of the honor. But it seemed that the songstresses was arguably more excited to get to share the stage with NSYNC than she was about the actual award itself. I'm not doing well pivoting from this to this, Swift said of her award, telling the group, I have your dolls. You are pop personified. So to receive this from your golden pop hands is really too much. Um, the singer spoke for NSYNC fans everywhere when she speculated what the reunion might mean for the group's future. They are going they are gonna do something, and I need to know what it is. The fact that the group also came prepared to give Swift some friendship bracelets really pushed things into delightfully surreal territory. Demi Lovato slays her hits. Le- Lovato made her triumphant return to the MTV VMA stage for the first time in 6 years. And delivered an epic medley of some of her biggest hits. Lovato rocked out to a variety of throwbacks, including Sorry Not Sorry, Cool for the Summer, and Heart Attack. And the audience, including Taylor Swift, couldn't get enough of the show stopping performances. Doja Cat, excuse me, Doja Cat has bloody good time. Oh boy. Doja Cat took the stage on Tuesday rocking a conservative gray suit ensemble while surrounded by ca- a cater of blood-drenched backup dancers to deliver a performance of Attention, Paint the Town Red, and Demons. As she began her set, Doja Cat rocked a pair of glasses and wore her her hair tied back, but slowly shed her constrictive clothes and let down her hair as the performance went on. The crowd um was all in on Doja's performance, with Taylor Swift and Tiffany Haddish among the stars who were spotted rocking during her time on stage. Shakira was there too. Yes, the Colombian songstress made history as the first South American recipient of the MTV VMA's Video Vanguard Award, and commemorated the occasion by taking to the stage for the first time in 17 years to perform an energetic medley of her biggest hits, including She Wolf, Objection, and Whenever, Wherever. Shakira wowed the crowd, by singing, dancing, and crowd surfing in multiple outfits, in on stage rain, and at one point with a pair of knives. She was even joined on stage by some fans who joined in singing her um, um, Berserk Music Sessions Volume 53. Nikki teases new music. Ooh. Pink Friday 2 is coming, and Minaj made sure to what fans' appetites with a taste of her new single, Last Time I Saw You, rocking in a striking sheer black bodysuit. Minaj on the stage as she delivered the high energy set. The Stray Kids are all class. Wow. Don't know who they are, but they're a new K-pop group though. After becoming the first time VMA winners earlier in the evening, a win the K-pop group could hardly believe when it was announced. The artist took the stage and showed the crowd exactly why they deserve it. The group, who won Best K-pop Video for their hit S Class, took the stage to perform the track in an intense, tightly choreographed performance in front of a dynamic, futuristic backdrop. Bang Chan Lee, n- n- now Lee No, Chang Bin, Hong Jin Han, Felix, Sungmin, and IN sang and rapped in both Korean and English, and thrilled the crowd with their impressive movies and actually dance moves and coordinated fashions. Of course, Diddy, global icon. Before the 53-year-old music mogul and producer walked down memory in his Global Icon Award acceptance speech, the legendary Mary J. Blige presented his Global Icon performance and paid tribute to him, from calling him a big brother to reminding the world that his Bad Boy Records has sold more than 500 million albums worldwide. Once on stage, Diddy busted out his trademark Diddy Bop and belted out his 1997 hit, I'll Be Missing You. It was Diddy's first performance at the VMAs since 2005. His son, King Combs, joined him on stage for a few tracks, including It's All About the Benjamins, I Need a Girl, and More Money, More Problems. Young Miami and Keisha Cole also joined Diddy on stage. There was a sweet moment when Diddy's daughter, Chance Combs, joined Blige to present Diddy with the Global Icon Award. Diddy's other children, Jesse James, Chance Combs, Delilah, and Justin Dior Combs, were also at the event, as was Diddy's beloved mother, Janice. The 2023 MTV Video Music Awards aired live from the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey on September 12th on MTV. Of course, you can follow along at etonline.com for full coverage from this year's VMAs, including the complete list of the night's big winners. All right, let's see. Let's see what else. Um, let's see what else. Oh, yes. Yes. Okay, time for munchies and drinks. All right, here we go. Munchies and drinks. Okay, so we got two moms who invented something that's very good and tasty. So let's get into it right here. And this is from people.com. So, two moms are making the most of McDonald's dessert offerings. TikTokers Janelle and Kate shared a video on the social media sharing app earlier this week in which they documented their own dessert hack, and it has since gone viral. According to the two women, they create their own DIY meal by ordering 6 vanilla ice cream cones, 3 cookies, and a bit of chocolate sauce from McDonald's, which they then mash together in a Tupperware container with spoons to create a delectable treat. Yummy. Mom shared McDonald's secret. Oh man. Um. Okay. Yeah. Janelle and Kay start out the video by placing the six ice cream cones in their Tupperware container before mashing them together with a spoon. It does get a little messy, but it's worth it, they say in the clip. The duo then take their three freshly baked cookies from McDonald's McCafe and like the ice cream cones before them, mash them into the mixture to add a chocolatey mix. After adding some chocolate sauce and sprinkles, Janelle and Kate then indulge in the sweet mix. It's a party, they express while taking bites from the dessert. The moms even decide to dip some of their French fries into the treat. I wouldn't recommend this, but which they describe as being a sweet and salty mixture. Many TikTok users wrote in the comment section of the post where they expressed their admiration for the viral hack. Everybody's so creative, one user wrote, as another playfully teased. It just kept getting more chaotic. Is anyone else more shocked that they found at McDonald's with an ice cream machine that employees actually use? Another user commented, poking fun at the statuses of the devices used at McDonald's locations across the globe. Interesting. Wow. Wow. It's pretty bomb though. I'm not gonna hold you on that one right there. Oh man, I am not gonna hold you on that one. Oh boy. Yeah. Okay. In other um in other subjects of this segment. Okay, so this weekend, foodies and home cooks alike can tune into Food Network's brand new addition to its In the Kitchen series, Hot Dish with Franco. Of course, the show is hosted by restaurateur and social media star Franco Noriega, who, as expected, is no stranger to the kitchen. Um, Originally from Peru, Noriega is not to be confused with the rapper, folks. Parents own their own restaurant, so he was always surrounded by food. Peru is the number one um, gastronomy in the world, so we are very much in tune with food as part of the culture, said Noriega. I was very much in the depth of food because of my family's business, but also because of me being Peruvian and being so into food. Noriega opened his first restaurant, Baby Brasa, in New York City's West Village in 2017 and has since opened Tivoli Trattoria and Fellini Coffee, also in the West Village. Noriega also worked as a model for several years and eventually uh, built a following because people wanted what he ate to stay in shape. When the opportunity to create Hot Dish with Franco came along, Noriega knew he had to jump on it. A lot of people would ask me, what do you eat to stay in shape? What's your food routine? So I decided to create these videos and start sharing recipes that made me look the way I did. Were very healthy, but still very flavorful, said Noriega. Life surprises you in so many ways, and you think maybe you are going to go into one direction, but you end up in another. I love that. I'm very grateful for everything going on, and of course, for this super cool show that I'm about to release. Hot Dish with Frankel's follows Noriega um, into the kitchen as he takes viewers on a culinary journey. Noriega will dive into his Peruvian and Italian roots as he cooks up a variety of dishes, including arepas with melted cheese and chorizo vegetable ceviche and a deconstructed tiramisu. The show provides a truly at home feel as it's filmed right in Noriega's apartment. The recipes that Noriega chose to showcase are immensely flavorful, can be used in a variety of settings, and possibly the most important as a New Yorker himself, are quick and easy to make. So the viewers are gonna love this show. We had an amazing time, and the food is delicious. The recipes are so good. Uh, and we have fun doing it, said Noriega. I think what is consistent through the episodes is the fact that they are very easy recipes with simple ingredients but have a lot of flavor. In general, I love to cook, but I don't like to take long in the kitchen. I also live in New York, so I'm always running around in a New York minute. So things have to be quick. I like to cook things that are simple, easy, and quick, but also very good. um Noriega hopes that those who tune in will not only enjoy what they are watching, but feel empowered to try something new in their own kitchens. I am showing you how to make this recipe that might be a little eclectic, but they are very easy and I'm sure they are going to love it. I'm hoping the people fall in love with these recipes with ingredients like cilantro, said Noriega. So you can catch Hot Dish with Frankel, especially on Saturdays at 12 p.m. Eastern and Eastern time and Pacific time on the Food Network, which already started like um last week, I believe. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So let's see what we have left to talk about here. Um, okay, hold on. Okay, I'm about to wrap up here right now, man. Um, okay, the very last thing we are going to do is the last part of this show right here. So this is going to be stream choices on the go. Let's do this. All right. You know the deal. Make sure you go ahead and follow this podcast right here, as you see in the description on Facebook, alongside with Threads and Instagram, and alongside with my other two podcast shows that's also on Threads and Instagram as well. which is, of course, Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast, Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast, of course, off the Meat Rat Chainz NY podcast, um, and myself, G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York. Make sure you turn your notifications so you can know when each episode is going to be dropping and when I'm going to be on Instagram live recording an episode so you can know and get a better idea on the topics that I'm going to be talking about. So let me know in the comments what you thought about this episode, what you thought about the topics, including the gentrification stuff and the funny topics in between as well. So there you have it right there. And I'm going to go to where you can listen to the episodes. So, um, yeah, pardon me. Hold on a minute. Pardon me. Yes. Um, okay. So if you go to the link in bio, you're gonna see a whole list of audio streaming platforms, including visuals as far as videos and stuff. And starting with Odyssey, Audible, Audioburst, Amazon Music, Breaker, Bullhorn FM, Castbox FM, Diesel, Listen Notes, Moon FM Podcast, Player FM, Pocket Cast, Podbay, Podfriend, Podhound, Podopolo, Podorama, Podcast Index, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Podverse, Podcast Guru, Podvine, Snipped, Spotify, still on Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, iHeartRadio, the number one app for music, radio, and podcasts. You don't need a credit card or debit card to download iHeartRadio or any of the apps that I just mentioned. So please subscribe to all the streaming platforms that I just mentioned, and, including following the 3 podcast shows that's on iHeartRadio, which is Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast, the sports edition platform that I do, and Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast review show, off the Meat Rat Chainz New York Avenue podcast, and also make sure you do the same with YouTube by the YouTube channel of G Money Stacks 555, and also click on the naughty bell alongside with alerts so you can know when each episode is going to be recorded via live stream, as a reminder of when the live stream is going to be starting according to the date and time. All right. Leave a like and a comment along with the episodes and topics, and tell us what you think about the gentrification of people, and of course the whole thing with the other topics that I talked about, including the ones in the funny topics area. All right. And be sure to download these apps onto your phones, including your iPhones, Android phones, iPads, Android tablets, laptops included, as as well, such as Apple and Dell laptop models. Any models that you have will be included. All right. So there you have it right there. Um, Tell a friend to another friend. Spread the word. Word of mouth is important. And of course, share the link along with the podcast with your husbands, your wives, your boyfriends, girlfriends, friends, the people you are cool with from work and any other places whatsoever. Um, so yeah, that's gonna do it for me, man. I'm your man G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator. Thank you so much for listening and tuning in and rocking with me in this episode dedicated to National Rocky Road Day. All right. And remember, the grind doesn't stop. Hard work pays off. New York wasn't built in a day. It's a process. You have to trust the process, and it's a day by day process, folks. And if you want something, you have to work hard and earn it. All right. And of course, make sure you find something that clicks to you, that makes you happy. Follow your goals and dreams. Be on your P's and Q's, that gets you into your zone alongside with tunnel vision. All right. Don't let anybody stop you from accomplishing your goals and dreams in any career field that you make. All right. Do what makes you smile. All right. I'm up out of here. Thank you very much. I appreciate every single one of you for listening and tuning in, rocking with me. And I'll see y'all next time in the next episode. Peace and one love. And I hope y'all are okay from the nasty weather that happened. I know there's been some floods going on as far as like, highways and all these other closures and subway stations and stuff, which I'll dive into next time in a future episode. All right. I'm up out of here. Peace and one love. Good night, everybody.